Yesterday's deadly shooting in Georgia. Law enforcement officials say a 14-year-old student at Apalachee High School opened fire, killing 2 students and 2 teachers before being taken into custody. 9 others were wounded. Mark Strassman has the very latest from Winder, Georgia.
Flowers lay outside Apalachee High School this morning in tribute to the victims of Wednesday's deadly shooting. Investigators say a 14-year-old student opened fire around 10:20 a.m., killing 4 people and injuring 9 others.
I got up, I started running. He started shooting like 10 times. He shot at least 10 times.
The sheriff described how 2 school resource officers quickly confronted the shooter armed with an AR platform-style weapon inside the school. They took him into custody.
As soon as they made contact with him, he gave up immediately.
The FBI now says that local deputies questioned the suspect and his father last year. The reason at the time, online threats to carry out a school shooting by the suspect, who was 13 years old at the time. But the father told deputies that his son had no access to guns in the house. The suspect denied making those threats at the time, and so there were no arrests until yesterday.
Investigators identified the 4 people killed as 14-year-old students Christian Angolo and Mason Schermerhorn, and teachers Richard Aspinwall and Christina Irami.
You could get a question wrong on the board, and she's not going to make you feel dumb. She really make you, she'll make you feel welcome.
Isaac Sanguma told CBS News he spoke to Irami, his math teacher, the morning of the shooting.
She was begging me to come to class on time today, and I didn't know that was going to be my last time seeing her and talking to her.
The shooting suspect has been charged with murder, and prosecutors say he will be tried as an adult. Mark Strassman, CBS News, Winder, Georgia.
The Barrow County Sheriff's credits a fast response from faculty with preventing the shooting from becoming an even larger tragedy. They said that faculty alerted law enforcement to an active situation using a button on ID cards, a new system that had been in use for only about a week.